everybody, how's it going? I don't know if we're actually recording yet. Okay, now I'm live. Hey everybody, how's it going? It is a cold and rainy day here in the Portland area, and I was just chatting with a gentleman in North Carolina, and he's like, "It's 80, I'm going to the beach." Sometimes I wonder if I'm living in the wrong place. Anyway, every morning after I drop my daughter off at school, I listen to Abraham Hicks, and I just find uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Video, whatever, on YouTube and put it on and listen to it in the car on the way home. And if you're not familiar with Abraham Hicks, basically it's channeled guidance from, I don't know, spirit guides, the universe, whatever. But they talk frequently about living your best life and paying attention to your emotions and keeping your vibration high, paying attention to your thoughts, which really aligns well with my work. It just has a much more spiritual component to it. But this morning, as I was listening, they brought up the idea of who are you and who are you allowing yourself to be, and how will you bridge that gap? And it made me think of something that's been on my mind lately about how we as humans, we come into the world with these amazing, unique, wild personalities. And over time, we learn how to be socially acceptable. And especially if you're socialized as a woman, as a girl, then you are socialized to be quiet and not take up space and be a good girl. And over time, we learn to really minimize ourselves so that we almost become invisible. And we want to be accepted by other people, and so we become more conformist. It makes me think of junior high, where everybody had Guess jeans, and so of course I had to have Guess jeans and Keds and an Esprit bag and all of the things. And I was looking around my daughter's middle school, and it's the same thing. I mean, different fashions, of course. Everybody wears sweatpants or pajama pants now. But the same idea, where you have hundreds of kids who look exactly the same. And it's sad to me that that's what our society does to people, is it causes us to really sand down these aspects of our personalities that make us us. And I don't know if you've ever done ceramics, but it makes me think of burnishing clay. So there's a tool that you can use, a metal tool that you can use to rub against your clay pot to make it nice and shiny, and it takes any rough edges off of it, and it makes it into this kind of like perfectly little shiny thing. And that's what we tend to do with our personalities, except for there's really no shiny involved. We burnish ourselves to really this kind of dull, conformist person instead of being our wild, wonderful selves. And so, my question to you is, who are you really? And I know that can be difficult to answer after a lifetime of burnishing yourself to try to not stand out too much and even to try to be somebody else. And after a lifetime of putting everybody else first, you may have even forgotten who you are, lost touch with who you are. So, who are you really? And who do you allow yourself to be? Who do you give yourself permission to be when you're out in the world? And how do you bridge that gap between the tightly scripted version of you that the world sees and your actual wonderful self that perhaps your closest friends and some of your family members get to see? So, how do you reconcile that, and how can you grow more into your wild, I keep using that word, but it just seems to fit, your wild, authentic self? How can you be more you? So, if you're interested in becoming more you, this is the work that we do inside of the Mindset Gym. It's my 6 week coaching program that I'm super stoked about. I've taken all of the tools that I use with my private clients to help them get the most results in their lives, and I've created a 6 week course. It's online. It's self-study, so you can do the videos at your own pace, and then you get 3 private coaching calls with me. So that means you and I sit down over Zoom or over the phone, and we talk all about what's going on in your life, where you're feeling stuck, and I will help unstick you. That is my job, to unstick you so you can move forward in the direction of your dreams. If you're interested in that, I'll put a link to sign up below. And in the meantime, keep thinking about who is it that you actually are, and how can you let more of that person show up in your everyday life. Okay, bye.